I've been saying this for years now. I said, the second the coffers start to dry up, they're going to get straight back on the phone with Robert Downey Jr., say, hey, we've got a nice $50 million paycheck for you if you decide to come back. It was the most predictable thing in the world. And also at the same time, the most confusing thing in the world. Because again, why get Robert Downey Jr. to play a completely different character that doesn't even have the excuse that Chris Evans had?
Yes, and so who's going to be the villain for the Fantastic Four movie? Are they going to do giant goofy Galactus, maybe? Oh no, aren't they doing... Yeah, they are doing Galactus and they've got a female Silver Surfer. That's what it is.
Of course they do.
Which is appalling. And then Pedro Pascal is for some reason Mr. Fantastic.
Of course he is.
Yeah, I'm not excited for literally anything they're going to churn out in the next few years.
I'm so sick of this it feels like a very limited lineup of actors who star in everything in Hollywood these days, from the television shows like The Mandalorian to the films. And Pedro Pascal, he was also in The Last of Us, and he jumps around from here and there and everywhere. And I really liked him in that one series of Game of Thrones that he was in. That's about it.
It's Oberyn Martell, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Oberyn Martell, and he did a really, really good job of that. But the lineup of actors these days just do not have anywhere near the star power that the previous lineup of actors from previous generations had. And I think it's likely because of how overexposed that they are, that they're always appearing in Zoom call interviews with people. They've got their own social media, so you can hear all of their inner thoughts constantly. They're proving to everybody that, unlike the older generation of actors, where you could look at even Clint Eastwood, who's still alive, you could look and go, yeah, he probably is a badass in real life. You'd look at John Wayne and go, yeah, he's a badass in real life. No, they're a bunch of theater kids. And these people have made it so obvious, it's completely destroyed any mystique that Hollywood had left up. So I'm just getting really sick of seeing these actors and everything, because when I see them now, I'm not seeing the character that they're playing, I'm seeing the actor.
Well, all the X-Men were relative unknowns, and they made a blockbuster franchise out of it, where the characters are so beloved, they keep pillaging the corpse of a long extinct universe like this.
Quite
they've
literally.
got no new ideas. Like it is getting very tiresome to just have member berries just thrown in front of you. And again, I've always been more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy, and DC's just dead at this point, so I just don't care. But I would, if I were a deeper Marvel fan, I would be really offended that all of these comics that I have purchased that have given license to the MCU to exist, and there's a rich history of stories and characters that you could be using and telling, and they just keep using actors that are way past their prime to tell. I mean, this wasn't actually a story. There's no cohesive plot here. It's just a few fun cameos, which we can appreciate, a few too many juvenile jokes, in my opinion, a few bad
That's
pop songs.
Deadpool.
It is, but it was turned up to ridiculous degrees this time around.
I think it was so that they would prove that, see, we're still R-rated, we're still Deadpool, we're still goofy and funny, haha.
Yeah,
Dick jokes.
Yeah, I didn't need that many blowjob and cocaine jokes. Just a few too many. And it just feels like there's absolutely nothing fresh to be interested in. I'm completely apathetic about it, and this is why, like you, I'm just not really watching any of this stuff.
Yeah, that's why the effect of that opening sequence of desecrating Logan's grave didn't really have much of a negative effect on me, because I'm like, we're in the garbage era of superhero films now, so this doesn't even really count as far as I'm concerned. What I'm watching right now isn't a film to be emotionally invested in. It is a product to consume and then move on to next product. Now, I've done the sacrilegious thing, which is asking questions. You're not supposed to do that. You've got to consume, move on to next product. And even then, even in something that is almost purposefully designed to be throwaway rubbish, there's still so many problems with it. But again, it was fun and didn't take itself too seriously. So I've got to give it that. I did enjoy the viewing experience. But no, is it anything that lines up to something like Logan? God, no. Does it line up to even The Dark Knight Rises? No, it doesn't line up to that.
Oh, hang on. I enjoyed it more than The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight Rises has just as many problems and worse casting.
But it has Anne Hathaway in a skin-tight leather suit.
Exactly. Which is why it's terrible.
Immediately bumps it up about 6 points.
Chronically mid. Absolutely.
No, you are absolutely wrong.
Nobody compares to Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Put your Ken mug away. Your Kenergy is showing. No, you are absolutely wrong on your take on Anne Hathaway. Comments, let him know.
No, terrible Catwoman, almost as bad as Halle Berry.
Does it line up to the old Batman films, the Tim Burton ones? No. Was it even really as fun as Batman and Robin? No.
At least that turned Stelios into a quote engine. Like, that served its purpose.
Exactly. There's not many quotes from this for Stelios.
No, this is part of the issue of these recycled films as well. Is the jokes are crude and juvenile, yes, but they don't stick. There's no, like the Star Wars prequels. There's nothing there you can come back and reference and make and have pop culture staying power. Like, this is not going to be a generation defining.
Just in case, what you mean there is that Star Wars prequels have loads of memeable things that stick.
Exactly. There's nothing that can be referenced from this.
Well, that's another. I say it's one of the plus sides of these Deadpool films, is the jokes are so rapid fire. It's a double-edged sword, because also it means that even the jokes that get a little chuckle out of you are so rapid fire and throwaway that they won't stick in your mind. That's why something that even had the slightest bit of build-up, which was the reveal of Mini Wolverine, stuck with me, because it was the one joke that felt like it had a setup and punchline. The rest of them were just, here's a reference, here's a dick joke, here's a reference, here's a dick joke.
So now that Deadpool and Wolverine has sufficiently pillaged the corpse of the X-Men, but the MCU, perplexingly, is setting up the melding of the Fox X-Men universe with the mainline universe, because Beast showed up at the end of Captain Marvel sequel.
Beast played by what?
Kelsey Grammer. Did you not know
Wait,
this?
not even what's his face? Nick Holt.
Nick Holt, yeah.
Not Nick Cole.
No, because
Kelsey Grammer.
He's currently Lex Luthor. This is, yeah.
Kelsey Grammer, who must be 70 now,
Yes.
at least.
Yes.
So, right, we talk about pillaging.
You're so confused.
Right, soon they keep bringing these people out of retirement forever. It's a joke repeatedly in this that Hugh Jackman will still be playing Wolverine when he's 90. Are we going to get the Joe Bidenification of the MCU, where everybody is 80 years old, wandering about low energy, not remembering their lines and flubbing everything?
They're all in Professor X wheelchairs because they can't do.
They're going to bring Captain America, Chris Evans, back for Captain America when he's 80 years old.
And he's going to look like old Captain America in the makeup.
And he's going to flub Avengers Assemble, and he's going to say, Avengers, I'm a fit of the
The Avengers can be defined in a single... come on, man.
And then they're all going to fall over.
Yeah, Justice what?
They're going to be coming off of an airplane that's got a slightly slick ramp on it, and they're all going to slip and fall.
This is the point. I'm just not excited for any of this. None of it is interesting to me.
That's why this was the one time I was willing to get dragged back in, because I was like, I mean, I've watched the other Deadpool films. I might as well.
For me, it was mainly Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, and also Hugh Jackman. How badly did they handle it? And honestly, not as badly as they handled it. But going from Logan to this, man, Hugh Jackman must have read the script and said, glad they're giving me all that money in this costume.
To watch the full video, please become a premium member at lotuseaters.com.